Okay, you called me out. Hey! What? Oh, shoot. Damn it. When you're streaming, you usually have like 2 or 3, like... Well, welcome to the stream, Morrison. I will tell you why I do that. I used to do these streams. I would start right away, and it would take about an hour for people to like kind of segue in, and by that time I would be a little burnt out. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take a half hour up top, see who comes in. So you came in. Yeah. No. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How are things going? How is life treating you at the moment? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I am up very early for my time too, or I guess technically I'm up. No, I am up early. I fell asleep early, which is strange for me. What time is it for you? Get myself some coffee. Welcome to the show. I am also very much procrastinating on doing writing. What type of stuff do you write? It is 6 a.m. for me. Oh, that's awesome. Love me some good tabletop games. Don't get to play them as much as I want to, but I do like them. Are you working on one right now? Tell me about that. Is very interesting. Tell me about your latest project. Yeah. You know, the thing I do think it's funny, kind of like, you know, running in nerd circles a little bit, like stuff that's one of the things that's really popular is like tabletop games, but the thing with tabletop games is it requires you to get a few people together, and that's sometimes a tall order. Holy heck, that's cool as heck, my bud. My bud. Oh, word. My bud. That's super cool. Yeah. Is this your own system, or are you using another one? Are you? What's the? I know there's well, that's cool. Do you have a website? That's cool as heck. I just found your. Let's see. Found your I believe I just found your website. I found this one. Oh dang! You got like professional shit and all this stuff. Very cool. Let's see. Don't you hate that when you're on a website where you just like... Is there not supposed to be a sale? Oh yeah, Hey, Osmosis. I've heard of companies doing. Hello, hello, hello. Well, that's a little sleazy. Yeah. I've heard of companies do. Didn't like Epic pull that, like the Epic Game Store? And welcome, Osmosis Jones. Yeah, it looks super cool. This is like Morrison. You're like a professional and stuff. Welcome, welcome, Osmosis. Oh, is that the I was trying to think of like the 10-cent thing. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah. Isn't it fun that a corporation like Tencent has gotten its claws into almost every video game company here in the U.S. That's always fun. What was I saying? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Osmosis. What do you do? Are you a writer? Welcome to the stream. Listen. We love big corporations. They do nothing wrong. Certainly, the big corporation that runs this site has never done a single thing wrong. It's Jeff Bezos only does good things to people. Here, that's what this stream is about. Loving corporate megacorps. You hear that, Papa Bezos? You hear that? We've done nothing wrong, and we will continue to do nothing wrong. All good words, all good words. Yeah, it probably is. Listen, not self promo, me promo. I'm promoing, and I'm legitimately curious. And you got a group of people here to play it. And we won't watch that because it's 2.5 hours. It's long, but it's definitely there. Did they? I assume they liked it. That's super cool. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on, Ozzy. I'd be curious to hear. Yeah. It is. It's incredibly evocative. Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about your world building. Yeah, I think that's kind of everybody here but Morrison. Everybody here but Morrison probably has a similar sensation. I spent about 2 months building something to write for Nano, and then I decided I didn't like it about 2 days into writing it. So you know. I don't know. Do you guys ever have this problem? My main problem as like a creative person is I have all of these ideas and I have like all these big ideas in my head, but it's just like I can never like commit to one, you know? Like I just bounce back and forth between like 30 different ideas. Oh, no, not at all, not at all. Morrison, that's a really good tip, but that unfortunately costs money. That's money. Yeah. Yeah. And at the moment, oh shit! Right. I made this. I made this poster. I made it. This is a poster I edited, and I put me and my friends' faces on it. Yeah. Let's see. That's me. That's my friend Ran. That's a few other friends. Yeah. I was just playing around with like editing software, and I made it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, well, that's what I did. I took an '80s I took a cheesy fantasy movie poster from the '80s, and I edited it to put our faces on it. Let's see if I can find the original. Yeah, 1984. Let's see if I can. This is the original poster. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it was something fun I did. I just did. I didn't intend to like print it out. That was a gift my mom gave me. I was pretty proud of it, and I was just showing it to a bunch of people. And then one day, the poster was just in my room, and my mom had printed it out for me. I think it's pretty cool. You guys want to see the other poster I have in here? Unfortunately, you can't get a good look at it at this angle, but yeah, it was very sweet. If you can look up, let's see. This is an original Doctor Who poster drawn by Drew Starsden. It was for, I believe, the 25th anniversary. It was given to me by a family friend. Drew Starsden, right? Isn't that cool? Just randomly, he gave it to me because I said I liked Doctor Who. I was just like, yeah, because he's like, he's an old school Who fan from the 60s, and we were talking about it. As somebody who has watched a lot of classic Who, let me tell you this. If you don't know the structure of old Doctor Who episodes, they're structured like film serials. So, like usually it's about 4 or 5 parts. Each episode maintains about 4 or 5 parts, or 4 or 5 parts. And I will say this: there are some straight up classics, some great science fiction that comes in those serials. But sometimes, I must warn you, they stretch that shit out, like they pad that shit like nobody's business. And it can be really brutal at times. Like, oh my god. Yeah, so I would say, like, don't binge. I would. You don't have to watch all of them, but I would say, like, find, like, there's like some acknowledged classics that you can watch, and those are pretty great. You know, like, watch the real famous ones, and you'll get that's good. Like, that's good. Because there are also, like, definitely some very, like, lean years. Also, give the Sylvester McCoy seasons a chance. They're pretty good. I like Sylvester McCoy a lot. It's been a while since I've watched, like, classic Doctor Who. Actually, it's been a while since I've watched. But, yeah. Pretty big fan. Okay. I guess we're into this discussion. Everybody's favorite Doctor. I will judge you if you pick wrong. Good question. 9 is pretty good. Of the revival, I like 10 the most, but yeah, 10. I like David Tennant the most, but that feels like such a Herb, and like a Herb answer. Like, yeah, I like David Tennant. I mean, I like them all. Like, in my opinion, Doctor Who is very much is kind of works better in like anthology wise. So, like, I always think the like the single story episodes are stronger than like the season arc ones. Maybe controversial opinion. I don't know. I think when. Yeah. He's definitely one of those guys where it's, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. It's because I really like Matt Smith and I really like Peter Capaldi. Both, I like both their versions quite a lot. What are you talking about? Don't you like Matt Smith's entire arc to be dragged out? A convoluted story arc that answered no questions, answered nothing, and just kept going on and on. Didn't you like that? I don't know. I just listen. Stephen Moffat outsmarted us all, and I think that's pretty good for him being super smart. But no, I really like. That's my only. I feel structurally 10. I feel structurally like 10 as a character and as an arc is really strong, but I really like all. Yeah. See, the thing is, I really like Matt Smith, and I like Amy. I like Rory. I really like Matt. I really like Eleven. I think they're a charming group of. Like, they're a group of very charming, like, characters, and there's a lot of fun, like, adventures they go on, but it's just like, oh my god, does that fucking arc just drag on forever? It's like, when you think it's going to end, it's like, nope, we're going to keep going. And it's just like just end at some point. Anyways. But anyway, so that's my complaint about the Doctor. Well, not to end up complaining too much about stuff, but Moffat has this real need to be like smarter than his audience. Like Moffat, it seems Moffat is very obsessed with like outsmarting his audience, and it's like in the end, it's just like yeah, yeah. Oh God, he definitely went to like he. He went to the J.J. Abrams School of Witchcraft and nice, Callie, nice. He went to the J.J. Abrams School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I'm J.J. Abrams. Yeah. Oh, banana. Banana. Tell me. Yes. Tell me, banana. Banana, are you married? Have you got? Are you Mr. Banana yet? What? I'm only talking. No, not yet. Wonderful, wonderful. Of course, I'm going to be your best man, right? No. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Huh? Tell me, banana. Tell me, banana. Who is your favorite? The Doctor from the Doctor Who television series. And I have a conspiracy theory. But don't do that, Callie. Don't do that. I have a conspiracy theory about Doctor Who. I have a conspiracy theory. I have a conspiracy theory. And I have no evidence that I am right on this, but I think I am. Okay. Follow me on this. Follow me on this. Who's the current doctor? Who, the one that retired? Ah! Your arms waving like this. Welcome, fanfictioner guy. Welcome. Jen, grabbing your hand, pulling it up. How the heck is it going? We've got new friends in here. We've got NL Morrison, who seems to actually being a success at this tabletop thing, and Osmosis Jones. That is awesome, my friend. That is very awesome. How are you guys writing so many words? Don't you want to be like me, writing 4 or 5 words? It is. Yes, but Ernest Hemingway had the... And it worked out so well for Ernest Hemingway to live the life he did. Oh, that's a dark joke. I'm terrible for laughing at that. That made me laugh. That's bad. 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 Bad for me. Fan fictioner, that's fucking rules. And for an original book too, holy heck, my friend. Holy heck. Everybody give like high fives or something to Fan. Callie there fucking killing it. Oh, right. So my little conspiracy theory is that after the latest Doctor retired, there was a rumor going around that they were going to hire Hugh Grant. They were going to hire Hugh Grant to do a small mini-series before the more permanent one would take over. And people dismissed it as crazy. Like every time there's a new Doctor, Hugh Grant is put forward, and Hugh Grant eventually said that wasn't happening. Here's the thing, though. The special event miniseries with a bigger name happening before it's handed off to a permanent replacement, that has happened. That is going to happen. And I'm like, well, the rumor was half right. Was it fully right? Was Hugh Grant offered the role, then turned it down? That's cool. Yes. Callie, describe to Morrison what your book is about. Oh, I always like it when Callie describes the type of thing he's writing, because it's always something. Just wait and hear what. Okay. Tell me about this. Tell me about this special thing that you're working on, Fanfictioner. Yeah. I think he'd be a good pick. Ooh. Goat boys just don't get to achieve anything successful. Like the Marvel movies. I'm aware that this is a color code. Looks gray? Nice. Across the Scribblerverse. The Scriberverse. Da-na-na-na-na. Are you gonna meet different versions of yourself? No. Well, that sounds crazy epic right there. It does sound fun. It does sound fun. My project my project that I wanted to work on was I wanted to create like my own superhero universe. Superhero universe. But I had this idea of creating my own city, but then I got too, I don't know. I got bored with like describing the way the city works, and I'm like, you know what? I want to base this in a real city, not a fictional city. I don't know. It felt like too big of an. I don't know. I got maybe a little bit too fantastical with the city, and it kind of lost any connection people had to the real world. I don't know. And then I decided about a weekend. What I really want to do is I want to write a movie. So that's where I kind of am right now. Is I want to write and film a movie. $100%. I don't know fan fiction or guy. That almost seems like a secret share. Good way to advertise things. Accidentally release something and your fans. Exactly. I always find it so funny that okay, three guesses which city Marvel offices are based in. You'll never guess which city Marvel has its offices in. No. Would you believe that you were actually correct on the first one? It is New York City. But how could you figure that out? How could you figure that out? Only every single one of their characters is from there. Like, literally every single Marvel character is from New York City. X-Boys! Great. Welcome, X-Boys! Spider-Man, Daredevil, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Captain America, the X-Men are from upstate New York. I kind of guessed. Exactly. It is the all-American city. Hey, Switch! Good to see you. Have you betrayed the Switch? Doctor Strange inexplicably is from Philadelphia, but he lives in New York. You've betrayed the Switch. You're all about the Xbox now? Which one? Oh, are you using Flow State, Kelly? Are you using that? Are you using Flow State, the program? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one for writing. Unfortunately, yeah. I like Flow State. That's a good program for writing. That's from our world. Hmm. Hmm. Which ones have you already picked ones? Aqua Gem. I don't know why I'm up so early. I literally woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and now I just have energy to do stuff. But it's good because I get to see all you cool people. Let's see. 3 cities I would. The question fanfictioner asked which 3 cities I would transport into another dimension. Let's see. Let's go with San Francisco and Tokyo. How about that? Good morning, Jim. How are things? Oh, and the Metropolitan Utopia of Utica, Ohio. Of course, Utica, Ohio. Notice how I didn't pick the city I live in. I said I would say Rome, but Morrison has it. I said Rome, but Morrison has it right. It's Utica, Ohio. I would either go with Rome or Budapest. That devil monster sleep, controlled by the ancient endless creatures. Oh yeah, ticking time bomb. Really good basic method. Yeah, it's the way to add some tension into the story is just have like a time, like ticking time bomb. Like the hero has to accomplish something in a certain amount of time, or things will go really bad. Real basic story, like a real. I of course didn't invent that. I also have the whole Hitchcock. There's also a Hitchcockian or was it me trying to explain like Hitchcockian tension? Again, the Velvet Ice Cream Company. Listen, my hometown had an ice cream company with a massive food safety quality issue. I kind of abandoned it. Yes, from Serbia. I am from Houston, Tejas. Sure. Finally, one of you acknowledged how handsome I am. Sure. No. Sure, if you want to, go ahead. How's it been going? Jim, tell me, how's it been going? Listen, theoretically, magic could fix a lot of food contamination problems, but apparently, thank you. Yeah, sometimes this look works. Occasionally, if I let my hair grow too long, it gets really like. Occasionally, if my hair gets like too long, it gets like. But right now, it's at a decent length. So, Banana, what have you been up to lately? How's life been treating you? Yes, that's a very much a compliment. Not totally sure who that person is. Not gonna look it up right now. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I always feel that's so true. Do you ever get seasonal affective disorder, Jim? Because oh boy, do I get it a lot. No, I had to look. I was just looking that up right now. Interesting. I consider myself a pretty big like history fan, but I obviously I won't know every single thing. Yeah, I get SAD a lot. Like when winter hits, I just like. Thank you. I do. It's seasonal affective disorder. That's better. Yeah. Dwarves are cool. Dwarves are neat. Well, you'd think a lot of dwarves would be like well toned. I mean, they do like mine and stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty effective one. The SAD. Yeah, I don't know. It's just when the cold hits, I'm like just blurb. I also always do feel like sorry to hear that, Jim. That sucks. Especially being like stuck around. Some family members can be pretty exhausting. Yeah, that sucks. Have they so like for Thanksgiving every year I used to go over to my aunt and uncle's house. Yeah, at an uncle's house. We did it for I did it for about like 9 years. And there was always more and more dogs. They would like they're exhausting people just in general, but so that part wasn't fun. But they always brought more and more dogs. They liked bringing dogs around, and I'm super allergic to dogs. And about halfway, like 2 or 3 years ago, I forget when I said this, but like a couple of years ago, I said to everybody, it's like, it's either those fucking dogs or me. Because every year I would go, I would be absolutely miserable. I would have terrible allergies all day. And they just kept bringing around more and more dogs. And so, let me tell you, the last few years, been a fucking delight. I haven't had to go once. They don't, but they're well trained at it usually. Exactly. And elves live in big castles, and don't do much. Where's the plus sized elves, everybody? I mean, a lot of elves are described as like scholar types who spend all day sitting down reading things. But Jem, we're here and we're gonna. They are. Damn it, they are. I do love. Well, unless the lore specifies that they're really hot, and they just have to genetically be hot, of course. I always do love that when yeah. I do love that in world building where it's like, they have to take time to specify that they're actually really attractive, and the entire race is in fact really attractive, and There's like genetic and scientific reasons why they're always super attractive. Yes. You know what, Morrison? You are 100% correct. But that's not the type of world building these people do. Yes, you can definitely be plus size. You can definitely be plus size and attractive, but there is definitely like you see occasionally people will go like, yeah, well, it's genetic that they're strong, it's just built into their genes that they're just naturally stronger than everybody else and good looking, and that certainly doesn't say anything vaguely creepy about the person who writes it and their ideas on things. Not at all. Not at all. There's no implications of a superior race, right? Yeah. But yeah. I do love it. Yeah. Oh, we've talked about that extensively on this channel before. But fanfictioner, I want to hear about your dwarves. Tell me more about your dwarves. I do like that the dwarf is given a chance. Listen, Morrison. Okay, Cal, let's do it. Send it to me. Yeah, fine. Fine. No worries. Well, good. Yeah. I got in trouble once on... okay, I'm just going to admit this now. I'm on TikTok. I joined TikTok a while ago. Yes, that's fine, 630 words. And I put out a little video once implying that I'm not the hugest fan of, like, when fantasy writers kind of get pro-eugenics in their writing. And, you know what? That does sound cute. That does sound cute. Especially, like, with, like, I don't know. I'm picturing... And I put out a video once implying that, maybe we don't do that. But, boy, did I get some white supremacists come out the woodworks for that one. That was a fun day when I said that. I do like fantasy races. I think they're fun. I've had an ongoing debate with my friend right here about fantasy races. I am on the side of liking fantasy races as an idea, in the same way, but it's like, if you're not careful, like, you can go into a real, like, ooh boy territory. Okay, we're gonna read Callie's writing here. Now, this is me reading out loud a document that I haven't looked at. At all. And we're gonna give like two little ground rules on giving notes, okay? One, we are going to temper it we like the find something good, find something bad. like find something good, find something that needs improvement. We prefer that method here. We prefer that method when giving notes. And two, don't give notes to Callie until I get through talking. Okay, until I say. We got that? Ajax, you dare to think to your empty mother's resting place of its waters. Realize she has been there since you were born. It is your own fault, said the warrior. I don't choose to be born, but you two choose to love each other, said Ajax. Quick to place the blame on your parents, he said with his arms folded, eyes closed. He huffed. The love you two bore a giant. The love you two had bore a giant, and she sunk to her death. Place the blame on yourself, so this ignorant creature doesn't have to expand the effort to shift it. Ajax entered his first state. With his arms, he ordered the river of wailing to crash onto the scorched lands of Hades. His father growled, Let me see exactly how you feel about your mother died, and I will allow you, and I might allow you to drain these waters, said his father. He entered his cold state, a state of reserve for princes and former royals, and stopped Ajax. Ajax was in his father's body, and his father in his son's. You should have an access to my memories now. I can see your friend Ekros is peering into our conversation. When you return to your body, let him know what happened, said his father. Ajax, on all fours, cried. Why didn't you just tell me? This is torture, said Ajax. To know is a lesser experience. You need to feel what I saw that day was as much torture as what you feel now, his father said. Excited, the cold state, Ajax held onto his chest, his breathing as heavy as the sound of boulders rushing the ground next to one's own ear. I could feel what Ajax felt. He switched his bodies with his father, but the sense of terror on his face was palpable. Back in his body, I felt as he did. He was terrified of what he would turn into when he grew older. Do you see it, Ekros? I'm a monster, an angel or beams of light and golden ribbons to cover her pregnant body. She had 4 wings sharp enough to stab through the flesh. Rays come from her belly to make her skin shine. A rock fell from the ceiling into the waters. She went to nearly drown, but she made it out from under the boulder. She screamed, as if something in her were pulling her down. She was thrown deeper. Son, what are you doing, Ekros? When my mother drank from the river of wailing, I gained the consciousness of my 32-year-old self. The coming together of millions of suffering souls was way too much for my mind. Age 32 years, my adult mind drowned the person who gave birth to me. I forced my mother under and she drowned. I couldn't console Ajax right now. Too far away. Mother is still at the bottom of this wretched river. Ajax commanded his river to flow up to the entrance. Out of the Photober's skull. The water almost crashed into me, but Amber grabbed me before it could. An angel lay on the river. Mother, Ajax said. He ran towards her and slid down the steep hill to his mother. Ajax placed 2 fingers on the angel's chest to revive her. If you really died, you'd have revived her by now. So I'll know you'll wake up. Wake up and tell me I am not a monster. Thousands of angry wailings escaped her mouth. She coughed up water. Her shoulders fell. Air he held onto escaped his open mouth. I'm okay, son, said the angel. You've been trapped in some hole in the bottom of the river. How could you say you'd be okay? Angels are tenacious. Dying is an unfortunate. is unfortunately more difficult for some, she said. Okay. Callie, let's first do this. Tell me what you think is good. Nobody else say anything. Callie has to answer this question first. And fanfiction, I just saw that, yes, that it's good. Start your character at a lower position and have them gain power. I get very irritated in like stories where the protagonist starts as like the most badass character in the world and just goes like, well, I'm going to continue to be badass. Anyways. Oh, thank you for the follow, Raccoon Fan 1. Okay. I will say this, Callie. As I've always maintained with your writing, you have a strong sense for lyricism and poetic fare, and I do maintain that. I am impressed by the images you can conjure up. I am a little lost on the context of this. Sometimes. Of what we just read. And if I could give you a piece of advice, oh, this is hard in pandemic days. How many points do you, it's about 15,000. It's about 15,000 points. Okay, 500 words. 500 words only, though. So, let's see. Okay, I'm going to say this honestly, Callie. Okay? Yeah. That's definitely. Yeah. It's a little that's a very good way of putting it, Morrison. It's a little bit hard to figure out where everybody is in context with each other. It does get a little bit confusing. And I give a little bit justification in that I limited you to just about 500 words, but there's so I see, this is hard to put in words. Okay, there's a concept I always think of when writing where it's like, are you retelling or are you experiencing? And this is always like a big concept. And I would say, like, part of the problem is, Callie, you're a little bit. It doesn't feel like your characters are actually there, if that makes sense. This is kind of pretentious, but I always think of it a little bit as like you're building up a mind. you have to build it. You have to build in your reader's head the setting and location for them to experience the characters. Yeah, exactly. Because remember, you kind of control every. You kind of, yeah. That's exactly it. You kind of control. It's like you control everything that your audience sees in pictures. So build the scene. Yes, you're all saying very good words. That's a little bit. I always think of it. I like a lot of movies, so I always think of it. I always think of it like this: is you have to build the set first before you can put the actors on it. And so, like dialogue and characters moving. They're when the actors come in, but the set has to already exist. If that makes sense. And if you don't do that, people tend to get a little lost. I'll look at fan fiction. I'll look at 500 words if you want to share it. And welcome, Raccoon Fan. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Remember, everybody in chat, if you really like the stream, all you got to do is hit that little heart button. Just means you like the stream a whole heck of a lot. And at some point, I will have to. Yeah, you are 100%. You are. Yeah, there are times where it's just like it doesn't really matter, but there are other times where it's. Yeah. And it's especially true if the location is really important. And action scenes need a surveil. I heard somebody once call it like a surveilling of the battlefield. Like, people need to have an understanding of what the battlefield is before they can feel tension in it. By the way, everybody, a surveilling of the battlefield is important in almost any medium if you're going to do an action scene. People need to understand people need to understand the setting that's going to occur. But also, Callie, I want to say, this is for Nano, right? The fact that you've gotten this... The fact that you've gotten this far and that you have this stuff to work with is much more important at the moment. Because in the end, remember, you can always rewrite. It's always easier to rewrite something than to write it. So... Don't get too hung up on this stuff right now. Yeah. Don't get too hung up on this stuff. Yeah. No. Morrison, you should... Callie, by the way, Callie is a fantastic poet, and you should read some of Callie's, Callie, share some of your writing prompts. They're read some of Callie's writing prompts. They're kind of... it's hard to explain, but Callie has some really beautifully written writing prompts. Yeah. Callie, by the way, I say this very legitimately. I do like your writing, Callie. Callie shared... There was a short story that Callie shared a while back that was really good, I think. About a girl who has, flowers growing out of her eyes and stuff. Yeah, let's see this one. I do really like that short story, Callie. Let's see. A clown has her assistant put on a blindfold. The garment calls for clouds above to fill the cloth with cotton. Soon she will be a fully fledged clown with a nose of her own. I'm not on Twitter, so I can't like and retweet it, but... Yeah, right? I said 500 words. I would, yeah. 500 words. If you want to share the first 500 words, we'll look at it. Yeah. I used to be much more forgiving about reading, reading whole things, and then people would submit like full books to me, and that's when it ended. So I'm fine with reading people's stuff, but you have it's fan fictioner. It's a little bit of an incentive for you to come and it's a little bit of an incentive for you to come back a few times. Because, yeah. But if you want to save some points at, where do I have it? 25,000 points. I look at 1,000 words. See, the problem is, and let me explain from my corner. I would love to look at all you guys. I would love to look at all of you guys' stuff, but the problem quickly becomes if I start opening and looking at people's stuff, then the stream becomes only about that. Here's what I'll say. I am open to a bribe. Because then, the stream just turns into nothing but me looking at everybody's stuff all the time, and it's gifted subscription or a subscription for yourself. Then we look full. We look at full. But let's see. It's nothing against you, fanfictioner. It's just about keeping the pace going. Now, what are you talking about? It's gonna last. It's gonna last forever. New currency. Yeah. And on a personal level, I actually get kind of nervous reading people's stuff. I get a little bit one. It's a tiny bit hard to think of criticisms off the get go. It usually takes me a little bit of time to think of something, and I do occasionally trip over my words when I read something out loud, especially when I've never read it before. Maybe it's a symptom of dyslexia. I don't know, but it's a thing. No, Morrison. What's going to be the big hit is listen. Sam Bankman-Fried he's going to get out any second now. SBF will get out and he'll fix FTX. He's innocent. He's innocent, and he's smart, and he drives a Toyota Camry. Yeah. Well, 500 words. I'll look at 500 words. Yeah, submit it through my server. That's usually the easy. That's the way I prefer doing it. Usually, it's the easiest for me. need to start. 1 second. My bot, the bot that I used to have that did all that stuff, currently for some reason doesn't work anymore. But I can just invite people right here. I believe you're actually on it already, Fanfictioner, but I'll re-invite you. And if anybody else wants to join, that's an open invitation thing, so feel free. So Aqua, tell me, while we're here, what have you been up to lately? How's your whole life going? Makes sense. Currently, I'm on a ton of different servers, and I'm never totally sure where I'm on. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna throw this out. Since we're doing Fanfictioner and we did Kali, I'm gonna throw it out. Today's a free day. If anybody else wants to submit 500 words for me to look at, I'll look at it today. I'm throwing it out. Anybody, we'll try and get them. We'll try and look at as many. We'll try to look as many as we can. Fuck it, let's do it. It's not like I have any ideas really. It is. It is. Okay. 500 words. That 500 words maximum, though. Okay. You know what we'll even do. Well, you know what I'll do. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change the amount it costs in the. One second. Let me do this one little thing first, and then we'll look at yours. And thank you for the follow, Morrison. There we go. Oh well, if you want, submit the earlier part too. Okay, we're gonna look at Fanfictioner. Here, we're gonna look at Fanfictioners first. No, I changed it when it should be changed. Well, I'll tell you honestly. Used to be that there would be certain people on here that would only do that. would only come onto the stream to do that. So we would be in the middle of a conversation. So it used to be like an hour would be taken up by reading everybody's thing. They would come in, have me read their thing, and then leave. And I got maybe an incy bit annoyed that that it seems that there were certain people who would come here only for that. So, and then they would also proceed to make fun of my out loud reading, and I didn't like that part. So, like when I'm doing this, as for fun, and yeah, they do. Did not like it. I have dyslexia. It sometimes I screw up reading words. I'm also going into these blind, and I have no idea what they say. So sometimes I just screw it up. So, and that was not fun. So those high price points really discourage those sorts of people. Luz dragged her feet across the ground, and the rain slowly dripped down her face. No more rain that boiled. This was rain from the human realm, her homeworld. Whoa! Luz, how is the rain cold? That was her girlfriend, Amity. Luz? Amity had braced herself for the sensation of boiling rain, but instead felt the gentle, cool patting of the rain from the human world. The others were all sitting under her entrance to the worn, decrepit house they'd appeared from. The end of their time in the demon realms felt painful to all of them. Things started to blur as Luz seemed to zone out. As sat a few steps lower, out in the rain. At a distance, it would look like she was just sitting in the rain. But that was not the case. I want to see Eden and King again. But I also want to see my mom. What do I do, Amity? Amity reached down and gently held her girlfriend's shoulders, gently pulled her to her feet. Moving her hands to Lutz's hands, she lifted them up and held them in front of her with a gentle and warm smile. Amity was hoping it would distract her in the process. I think we should find your mom first, she whispered, lowering their hands and holding Lutz's left. Now come on, I'd love to learn about your world. Okay, Luz replied, shakily getting her thoughts on track and wiping away a large tear hidden by the rain slowly dripping down her face, which now adorned the same gentle smile. Let's go see my mom. Okay. The rain didn't cease as they made it into the road. It only got worse. Using as much cover as they could find, the group of friends slowly but surely found their way towards Lutz's home. Meanwhile, 2 human girls were in the middle of the forest near where they had come from. You sure you felt a different kind of magic? There's nothing here, one of them stated, brushing a few twigs from her auburn hair. Auburn hair, I know how to say that word. Definitely, the other replied, swiping away some leaves that clinged to her knee-length coat. The 2 girls spotted the worn-down house and legged it for the door. Just a few minutes prior, the door had been emitting dimensional magic. Now it just looked like a normal door. But the girl who had sensed it immediately felt the strong, albeit fast decay of the portal that had just been there. This is it, she exclaimed with glee. This is what? Aurora. The immediate response came. This is where I sensed the energy. She closed her eyes and focused on... That's just... on into spinning hexagonal shapes, spinning in her palms with random lines and curves constantly shifting within them. The auburn-haired girl shrugged and did the same. The glow of hexes vastly different in the color, literally. They wore the flux of every single color imaginable. Strange, sense a worryingly potent and raw power with where their energy came from. Alora said, after a strong while, which was probably only 5 minutes, "What about you, Danny? I can sense something. Not on the level you can, Danielle," or Danny for short. I think people got that. Replied, "What is it like? I sense too many overlapping energies," she added, confusion evident on her face. Being a master of all forms, I'm surprised you've not learned the various frequencies they all came in, Aurora said. Try and replicate your teleportation magic, but imagine a seasonal shifting, like a frequency on the radio. Now that is easier said than done. Danny huffed, and the glow of her hexes faded a little bit, except for one color. But the anthology is easy to picture. It took a while before a long sigh left her lips, and a simple apology, "Sorry, I've never practiced it like this before," was spoken. The two girls couldn't quite... Oh, no worries. The two girls couldn't quite put heads or tails of the magic they were sensing, but they were determined to figure out what or who had caused it. Okay, I think that's 500 words. Oh, well, we read about. There's like, that's a good place to stop. It's right there. So. Before anybody says anything, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Callie. Fanfictioner, what do you think is good about it? I had a writing teacher who would always do this to me, drove me crazy, but I think it's really good. It's a really good question. I have many good things to say, though. And some critiques, but... Okay. Oh, but you won't... Well, I'll tell you... It is a good question. I had this writing... Well, you won't hear the good things and the constructive things I have to say. Oh, well. Wait a minute. What am I saying? Yeah. Oh my god, this guy drove me crazy doing that. Every time I would read for him, he would always make me... He would always make me answer that question. I'm like... And I was always just like, I don't freaking know. I don't know. You tell me what's good. You tell me what's good. Yeah, but he was a cruel taskmaster. No, he was a great teacher. I liked him quite a lot. He was no. Well, anybody else? Anybody else want to submit something? I'm up for it today. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it back to a higher number by the end of the stream. So this is your chance to get something out quick. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. You want me to read the earlier 500 words, don't you? How many points do you have? I could... Yeah. I did put them once. Oh, I know what it is. I screwed up. 1 second, let me fix that. You know what I did? I said it could only be, I meant it could only, I screwed something up. 1 second. That's on me. That's what I meant. That's the wrong number. That was the wrong box I filled out. There we go. Now you can redeem. Try it again. You should be able to redeem it. Well, go ahead, Cal. Submit it. I meant to limit it to one person per one. Callie, I want to make something though very clear, Callie. These are problems you can fix in a rewrite. Don't get like too hung up on any critique I give you right now because you're still writing your first draft, and all that stuff is, and you need to, and it'll be refined more and more that you work on it. So I really don't want you to get hung up right now on stuff like this, if that's okay. Do you understand? I think it's much more important that you finish your first draft. Let's call these like not critiques. Let's call these like guidelines. You know what I mean? Just like yes. Feel free to submit. Feel free to submit. Or do you guys want me to hear? Do you guys want to hear about the guy who did the oof sound for? There we go. I mean, you're a pro, so. Oh, there it is. There, I see you. Who did the oof sound for Roblox? Because. Callie, feel free to submit whenever you're ready. You know what? Maybe we'll do days. I'm thinking maybe we can do days like this. Maybe it can be a group reward that we raise money for. Yes, that would be fun. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do Morrison's here and then we'll do yours. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I think that would be a fun idea. where it suddenly becomes cheap. Trumpets sound from the cotton-white clouds overhead. The church bells play the doldrum undertones of a great orchestra. The chatter of the city, the strings, the plaza shading trees, the woodwinds. Heavily fanfare accompanies the eternal march of the lists of the Almighty. In the infinite city of the divine, angels spar and battle their holy war in romantic hastitudes. The little murmuring crowds of interested souls glance left and right at the sparring spheres, their golden halos swiveling to take it all in, an incomprehensible movement of holy bodies, like the orbiting bands of comets and clashing blades of solar flares. Select souls sit high and proud in stilted pavilions above the crowd. Those lofted few are the patrons of the most beloved and sweetly worshipped angels, and the angels most hilarious in their many blows and trumpets. At the shadowed seats of the left of this pavilion sits a meager soul whose halo sat crooked on their head. For they hadn't been here long, and their neck muscles required to cause the halo to circle perfectly were ones that were built with time and practice, whose form was not as solid to consider it a body, or to consider their rudimentary limbs as anything resembling hands or arms, their meager soul whose name was Calvary. Unlike the men-at-arms at their nom de jour, Calvary had died an uncomfortable and ill-fit death. A child of 17, accused of petty theft and killed in a range by an ill-mannered brute of an overseer. There was no honor in the way of their death. A sorry mess, but now Calvary sat in the stands, watching the angels, seemingly frozen in air, motionless, dazzling lights and colors between their armored bodies, accompanied by a crashing loud bang and a rapturous cheer from the crowds. The kind woman who Calvary had met the day before dipped her head near Calvary and informed them that the angel on the far side of the field, Percival, had struck a blow that should secure his victory. Calvary nodded in a slow manner, feigning understanding, but it seemed to please the woman and protect her pride in being a caretaker. Another cheer erupted from the flock of souls. Immediately the angel in front of the pair dropped to its knees. The force of its body crashing the ground spun Calvary's halo into a gentleman's legs behind him, who responded with a gruff and scornful breath, who might be assured to be Calvary's shoulders shot quickly towards their ears, and their head lowered in embarrassment. The kind of woman paddled Calvary on the back and shot glances backwards towards the disgruntled old soul, modifying his temper. Calvary felt just the slightest bit more assured, their mouth forming enough to let out a gentle sigh. A golden shrine of reigning across lit from the set-apart pavilion, those lofty souls, right proud and glad of their victory. So what do you make of it? That was fucking great. That was... And as you should. I was going to ask, does this come from a novel? Does this come from your game or a book? There's a particular little detail I like in here. I love this little detail right here that like the halos, that for somebody to have like a halo they need like for their halos to work they need they need like to develop specific neck muscles that you just don't develop in life. I like that part. I think that's really good. You have some strong description. You successfully, I think you very successfully like do a whole overview of like the city and really set the scene. Let's see. There's a little bit of a There's a little bit of introducing things before. There's a little bit of assumed familiarity with some of the characters. I'll tell you exactly what it is. There's an assumed familiarity with a few of the characters. That's what it is. It's a fairly common problem that like first drafts and a lot of people have. I definitely have this, where you know your character super well, but people don't. But you write it like everybody knows your characters already. Does that make sense? There's a bit of an assumed familiar. But like more. But let me make this clear, Morrison. This is a very polished first. This is a very well put together and very polished first draft. It's very I'm very impressed with this. Like this needs This needs a minimal amount of like editing, but I would say like my only real criticism is you introduce like two or three. No, the angel. I totally 100% get that the angel's fighting. I would say like my main critique would be to focus more on it with Calvary, like since I assume that they're going to be our main character, like. Keep more of the focus on Calvary than expand a little bit, because you do introduce a few other characters really quickly, like one off the other, and because we're just getting to know Calvary, and then we know like the caretaker, and then we hear about Percival. Does that like that would be the note I would give, and I guess that is the note I'm giving. But the battle is described well. I get that super clear. The city, you gave a proper sense to how big and epic the city is. But it's a very strong. It's a very. Are you? I assume are you not in the Discord, Callie? But it's a busy start. But I would assume if anybody, Callie, you would be in the Discord. Ow. Yeah. No. Any notes I would give, though, Morrison, would be tempered by I think this is strong opening. And some legit strong writing. Like, there's some very legitimately strong writing you have in there. Like, I think you're, like, opening... Like, these opening few paragraphs you have are very... Like, I think these opening, like, few paragraphs, like, this first... Like, this whole first page is pretty darn strong. Here's a little bit of a thing. Let's see. You know, this is always a thing I get clocked for, and I never totally get it every time I find them. But I think you switch tenses. I think you switch tenses a little bit every once in a while, like, but now, and I get that's like kind of a poetic phase, but I don't like the word seemingly. Anytime I'm editing something, I always cut like seemingly out. It's so annoying. It is so annoying because you think you get them all, but you never do. I don't like seemingly is one of those words I don't like just because I think it's like it's a hedging word, and I feel writing usually. I feel writing is usually improved if you cut the hedging words out. Because, you know, there's some things that make more sense, like, spoken out loud, than it does when you're reading it. Exactly. Yes. That's the exact note I give. why make it vaguer? Like, why make it a vague thing? Like, you can just, like, it can just be the way it is. You have a smart editor there. I'm pretty sure this is a tense switch, but I have been wrong about that before. But now Cavalry sat in the stands, watching the angel seemingly frozen in air. There's probably a better way to word this, but you know, again, I'm not your editor, so. Yeah, reading it. Yeah, it's strong enough, but I don't know. Oh, here's something. Feigning understanding. Cavalry nodded in a slow manner. Cavalry nodded in a slow manner. That feels a little bit. That feels a little bit not labored. Because we know what's no. Yeah. Because we know what nodding looks like, and we also know what nodding slowly looks like. Welcome back. We were just looking at Morrison's here. That is funny. It is funny to think slowly is faster, but it explains it. Yeah, like, you know, the problem with like that sort of thinking is like adverbs definitely can be abused, especially like there's something I got really fixated on, which is like cleaning up writing, like trying to get to the point of your sentence as fast as possible. And when you like put in a lot of adverbs, it can really distract from that. But an adverb can also add to the feeling of the sentence, if that makes sense, like artistically. Okay, fan fictioner guy. I liked your thing. I think you have a strong writing presence, but I need yeah, I need something. I need some blah 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 blah. I need something clarified in my. I need something clarified about who the audience for your thing is. Okay. Are you expecting new people to? Are you expecting like people who have never read any of your stuff before to pick this up? Okay, so it's for Owl House fans. As you can tell, I've never seen the Owl House. Okay, so this is strictly for fans of your old stuff trying to import them into your new stuff. Okay, that makes sense. I get that. Okay, and that fits. Because my note would be like a little bit of assumed familiarity, but if it's for people who are aware of the stuff already, then that's really my only note. I would say there. Let's see. Sorry, I need a slight refresher on yours because I just. I think that's a strong idea. You know what we call this in like the TV world here? Fanfictioner. We call this a backdoor pilot. Here's a brief note because I got a little bit like this kind of confused me a tiny bit, and this may be just been a formatting error on your part. This sentence should go up with all this stuff. This little design here should go. There we go. And then you can cut. Then you can cut out the meanwhile. Because what I got a little bit lost on was suddenly you introduced two new characters, and it's like, whoa, wait, what's going right in the middle of this thing? It's like, wait, but I thought it was about these characters. That would be the note I would give. Having like little like things like this, like these little things right here, are really good because I think that's really smart because like you can, yeah. No, that's 100% fine. You just have to clearly delineate when like you have to delineate in some way when the POV switched, and having something like this works really well. It's it's kind of very basic formatting, but it fucking works. So like, why fight it, right? And Kelly, if you could resubmit did you resubmit your thing? Callie, if you could just resend your thing, I'll look at it. I just can't find it. So if you could just resend the link. No, it's good. It's good. I was gonna say think I was gonna say is it's actually quite well put together, and you actually do. You got a little bit of emotion out of me there, fanfictioner. You got a little bit of emotion out of me there. So, yeah. But you actually made me feel a little bit for these characters, so I think that's strong. But you have to like that was my only real note. It's just I think you had a little bit of a formatting error right there, and I need you to resubmit it, Callie. Resubmit the thing. I can't find it. I just want you to resubmit it to me. Yeah. There we go. There we go. It takes time, Callie. And again, I would say, honestly, what's more important, before even reading this, I'll say what's more important, Callie, is that you get this done. Stuff like this can be fixed later in later in rewrite. So just worry more about trying to get this done. And then you can fill in the details later. The greatest gift any writer can give to themselves is having already completed work that they just need to edit. We were in a gloomy way throughout the scorched land beside the river. A different sort of sadness than the Drefless. The village was desperate, yes, but for sleep. There were a mix of cries for freedom and blood. It disturbed me. Warrior shades fought for a chance to make it through the gates, while others fought for the sake of it. One man was different. He wasn't a shade. He looked at me in the eyes, less puzzled to see me than I was to see him. The burly warrior wore armor made of bronze with golden plates all over it. Gray hairs covered his face, his closed eyes, and pointed behind him. Beyond the blue river, Ajax was on the side and fought to keep the warriors away. Over time, "Hey, Emperor Finland, long time no see." Over time, I grew comfortable with the macabre and found the strange extraordinary. The world was of sapphire. The chandeliers hung above, took them with the disorientations in the air by the stream from the scorched ground. There were fires hung upside down, which blew glass to build lamps around it. Glass vaporized by the heat of the earth fed those lamps until they dropped back into the searing sediment. I thought for a moment what suffering was and assumed it all a form of desperation. Desperation was a misery known by anyone denied their dreams. In my own home, I wished to stay for the books, and for my mother, my variety of Goten feeds better off the knowledge than power. Nightmares become an addiction, as I couldn't sleep without them. While they unnerved me every night, I had Amber. Fear, coupled with the comfort she afforded me, affected me with a sad relief I could sleep on with some ease. I have her now, though I know who she is and what she has done. It's wiser to forgive than hold a grudge. With her eyes, she must know I'm following her. She would know me every night through it if she had looked this way, but she kept walking. I stopped hiding and walked as if she wouldn't be irritated with me behind her. She jumped across the river. The old man kept himself composed. Through the force of her jump blasted a hot breeze at him. My Goten legs weren't as strong as hers. Those hers were normal. The river was wide. A single wing still carried me from the side of the river to the next. "Ajax," Amber said in a somber tone. "We need you in Paris to fix the fountain of forgetfulness." Ajax didn't need to look at her to feel it. He threw his enemies away from the gates, and a single trust. "I feel it in your gaze, that you don't regret what you did." "How do I know you won't do it again?" He knew what was inside her, though she was ignorant. "I can't take of convulsing." She hurt her back. She bent backwards. "Protect me." Amber was tired, confused. She couldn't remember the outburst, the hopelessness. I walked up to them, both to offer my assistance, but she refused it with an open hand that blocked my path to Ajax. Her eyes were bright. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's Finland. That's true. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Finland, that's true, though, of every, fictional creative work, is that all of it is pretty bad. A good 85% of it is pretty bad, but, I think there's I thought fan fiction had a legitimate strength in his writing, and I think that's pretty strong, and I encourage that to be strong. And, Callie, I would say about your work, the thing about it is, by the way, Callie, I really like that. To get it out of the way. To get it out of, to get it out of the way. I think that's actually a really strong piece of writing there, and you have, Callie. I was thinking your best stuff. You always have I can see your poetry experience shine through, because that had a very rhythmic, lyrical, rhythmic kind of sense to it, and I really liked that part. I think you have strong. I think you have I think you have a really strong poetic sense to your writing, and sometimes it's sometimes you get a little lost in that, but I think that's your main strength as a writer, and I'm always glad to see you embrace that in the writing that you show me. Because you know what you did really well in this thing that you showed me? You gave me a good sense of atmosphere, and that's sometimes hard for people to accomplish. Hello, Emperor of Finland. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about like fanfic and stuff, or like just collaborative writing in general. Do you know J.M. Straczynski? If you ever want to get work on TV, like one thing, he created Babylon 5. One of the pieces of advice I always give you on like television is like, if you write like a spec script for a show, they said like one of the things you should never do is introduce a new character. Because what they want to see in your like proposed writing is what you as a writer can do with already established characters and world. They don't want you. And there's always been a great quote from James Michael Straczynski, is that he said like you get excited. He said he would read. Yeah, but there's an element to it in that. Do you guys know what the term spec script is? Spec script is basically outside writers will write a script for a show and then hand it to people to show that they have the ability to write in the style of that show. And they've said before, and the thing they always talk about, and they say. So that's why you're not really supposed to introduce any new characters in your spec script, because they don't. The test is to see if you can write in that style. The test isn't to say throw out all the characters and write your own characters. If that makes sense. Like, and J. Michael Straczynski said he used to read fan fiction. So, fanfictioner guy. If you were gonna, I would say for spec script for a show, like say for Owl House, like I haven't seen Owl House, but I assume that there is like kind of like day in the life sort of stories, right? About the characters just experiencing like a wacky situation. I would say write one of those episodes. Write an episode where nothing like major, like if you were going to write like spec script or something like that. Write an episode for. Don't write like a major plot twist. Like don't. Like I would say, don't write like a major plot twist or anything. You know what? Let's, for the heck of it, I should. These are things I should be applying for, anyways. Let's see. So, if you guys don't know, exactly. That's the episode. Okay, what is it? If you guys don't know how people look for, let's see, how like studios usually look for stuff is they run like workshops. Like there's a few studios that run different workshops. Yeah. There's a few studios that run like different workshops. Nickelodeon has one, I believe CBS, I believe NBC has a famous one, and there's a few others. And usually they hire people out of these workshops. And these workshops are essentially like a long form like class where they teach you how to write in the style of like different shows and how like the networks want the shows to be written, and then they kind of pluck A lot of writers get picked from these workshops usually. Let's see. I know Nickelodeon has one. Writers. Yeah. There we go. So let's see. So funded in 2000, the Nickelodeon Writing Program is a full-time, paid year-long development program for television comedy writers with unique voices. Blah, blah, blah. Join in Burbank for classes and workshops to sharpen your skills, exclusive mentorship. Yeah. Yeah, so like this is where Nickelodeon will find its writers, and there's a few of these that are like, I'm not applying. I want to see like what the requirements. Oh, there it is. So you're supposed to write a spec script, and these are the spec scripts that they're looking for. Now these aren't produced like Nickelodeon shows, like, but these are like shows of like humor that they would like somebody to nail. Yeah, nobody should have to. I'm just directing. So like Our Flag Meets Death, Rick and Morty, Saved by the Bell 2020, Solar Opposites, Star Trek Lower Decks. Like, you're supposed to submit a spec script from one of these shows, Bob's Burgers, and then if you get in, it's a year-long program where they teach you to write for Nickelodeon, and a lot of writers get hired out of this. So here's what they. So fanfictioner, let me tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to write 2 scripts. Okay? If you ever want to get a job as a TV writer, you need 2 scripts written. You need an original pilot, and you need a spec script from another show. You need like a spec script episode from another show. That's what they're all looking for. Because they want to see what you are on your own as a writer, and they want to see your ability to emulate somebody else's style. Because TV writing in the U.S. is all about being able to fit in with the other writers. Fit your style in with the other writers, if that makes sense. Yeah, I've been really struggling with that too. It's like there's a part of me that desperate. Yeah, exactly. But, and by the way, every TV writer, like, sure, go ahead. And I don't know about other shows. I don't remember the other ones. The Nickelodeon one is pretty famous. But, like, here's what... These are the shows, like, say, like Nickelodeon is specifically looking for a spec script. So you pick one of the shows here pick one of the shows from here and write a spec script, and that's what they're looking for. Could I write Bob's Burgers? I like Bob's Burgers a lot. Ooh, What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, I should write a spec script for What We Do in the Shadows. The Kinetic Chronicles. I like that idea. That sounds fun. The Chronicles of Riddick? Yes, you should. Find your notes. Go find it. Yeah. I had a whole big thing planned, but... let's see. Oh yes, Chronicle. Yes. I actually never saw that, but I had heard about it. Everybody seems really down on like superheroes now. Am I the only person who still likes superhero stuff? Now, to be fair, I was a fan of superheroes before all of culture became about them, so. Funk! Good to see you, Funk! What's going on in the funky world today? Long time no see. What's... Somehow I want to get like, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how to do this, I don't know if it's possible, and I'm bad at programming, so... But I kind of wish there would be a, kind of wish I had like a little button or something that when you first popped in, I could just like press it and a little like music sting would come. It's going good. It's going good. I got back from Austin a couple of days ago, so sure. I got back from Austin like 2 days ago, so you know it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I was legit burnt out for like. I was legit burnt out for like 2 days. I was so tired, and all I did was drive to Austin. But I've been feeling like so like dead from that one trip. I live like 2 hours. I only live like 2.5 hours away from it, but I was so tired. Yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. I live in Houston. It's exhausting. I live in Houston, and yeah, I went to Austin. The food was fantastic. We mostly just ate like barbecue. Went to a burger place that I know. Fucking delicious burgers. Great burgers. I was very excited to see that they're still around. But my favorite Thai place closed down. And I was very depressed by that. It closed down, I guess because of COVID. It doesn't exist anymore. And that, Funk, is heartbreaking. You should, yes, no worries. I had a video go semi-viral on TikTok a few days ago, which was exciting. It's dumb, but it's like dumb. It's like, but it's like I went to that place like every week for almost a whole year, and it's like you're not allowed to close. Damn it! You're not. Places aren't allowed to close. I think you did. I am getting dangerously close to being able to live stream on TikTok. So, if you don't know, about TikTok, at 1,000 followers, if you don't know, at 1,000 followers, TikTok allows you to live stream from their platform. Also, they start paying you at the same time. And I'm currently at 827, so... Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that was a little bit weird today. It was a little bit weird, because officially, I have more followers there now than I do on here, so... Yeah, but I post like 5 or 6 a day, usually. I mean, I'm one of your followers, Callie, but you post like 2 or... I see you post like once or twice, like, let's see. What about you, Funk? What's going on with you? Funk is an old friend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so... What was... What's your account again, Callie? Link your TikTok account. Maybe we'll pump some people into you. Yeah. So, what was I saying about TV writing? Yeah. So about TV writing, most networks really want like a. So here's the way you need to become like a TV writer. And to get like the clout to do something like that, I would suggest trying to get into one of those workshops. I mean, if you get in, they pay you for like a year to do it, so it's pretty damn good. Every like major, like there's a few ways you can do it. Like the other one I would say, Fanfictioner, is like use what resources you have right now. To make something, try and get it known in other spaces. Like, you know what they're adapting a lot nowadays? And it's something I desperately want to do, but I just don't have good enough ideas for it. You know what they do? You know what they've been looking at adapting nowadays? Like, audio dramas. Like, deliberate scripted audio dramas. They've adapted it. Yeah, audio drama. Like... they've done 2 of those. There's at least 2 series based on D&D roleplay games. No, but link it, Callie. Link it. That way other people can see it. Let's see. What is it? Critical Role, and I know the Adventure Zone is supposed to get one, but it's been a while since that was announced. And I mean, technically, Harmon Quest was also was an adaptation of his podcast where he and his friends play D&D. It's a different adventure, but it's the same, same groups. So yeah, that's totally possible. But there's more to that even. Like people are writing deliberate audio dramas specifically for to be listened to, where it's like characters interacting and sound effects in the background, and that's like a real like medium that exists nowadays, as it existed in the past. But like because like podcasts are free and stuff, it's one of those like nice. It's one of these new things where it's pretty cheap as long as you have a decent audio editing program and a good collection of sound effects. You can edit a pretty professional. You can edit a decent sounding scripted show. So you could approach it from that angle. I have a good friend Lizard. I have a friend Lizard who does a lot of those. But tell me. Funk, what is going on with you? How's your writing going? There we go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so Callie, I post like 4 or 5 videos a day, usually. You have good stuff, Callie, but you don't post enough. Oh, not saying you should follow certain people, but if you're gonna if you're on TikTok and you're following anybody, not saying anybody should follow anybody, but yes, no, yeah, but yeah, you just have to put out some more videos and stuff. That's the end all and be all of it. You gotta increase your posting stuff a little bit. Like, these are high quality stuff. This is high quality you make good stuff, Callie, but it's just not enough to like. No worries. It's high quality stuff. It's just like see, okay. I put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos yesterday. And I put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos on Friday. It happens. That's what's really nice about TikTok, is that you can find there's more. It's super highly discoverable, so you can build up. Yeah. Oh, I let the bots stay on. Like, honestly, like I just need to get up. I need to get up to 1,000, because like then I can do a whole bunch. Because then almost a ton of features get unlocked for 1,000 followers. 1,000 followers that I desperately want, aka money. They pay me money. It is very frustrating because I've had a few videos go minorly viral, nothing major. Like I've got one video hit about 30,000 views, another hit about like this latest one I made. The latest one that went viral was about 15,000, and that would have been like $5-10. They would have paid me. And let me tell you something, everybody. That $5-10 would have been very appreciated. It would have been very appreciated to make some money like that. Again, that TikTok account right here, that's right here. That's hilarious. Again, if you want to follow anybody, I hear he makes good stuff. It's a lot of stuff about world building and writing on that account. And occasional art, and every once in a while I think I have a weird thought that I'm funny. Cough, cough, cough. Yes. Hey, listen, I already let every single major Western company know everything about me. I only thought it was fair that Eastern companies get to know about me too. Anyways, so Funk, what's been going on with you lately? Tell me. I want to know. We haven't talked in a bit, and I want to know what's going on with you. How's life treating you these days? Have you seen? I have less control. I have less control over my left eye than my right eye. That's interesting. I'm finding it hard to mentally... Well, that is surreal. What am I saying? How is every American, and the Americans in the chat today, how was everybody's Thanksgivings? Or its official title, National Fight with Your Family Day. I did not go to my Tell me, Morrison, did you use any pile drivers? Did you do a DLT? What was your finisher? Did you do a leg drop? Yeah. Okay, explain to me this, wrestling fans. Why was Hulk Hogan's finishing move... God, that fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Why do we do this to ourselves every year? Like, seriously, why is it every year, like, we have to go through, like, misery like that, where it's... Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that just like? I'm getting a sense, Morrison, that it's brother. I'm getting a sense, Finland, that it may be like brotherly back and forth. I've never had a brother or a sister. I'm what you call somebody who's lived a perfect life at all times. Oh, good for you standing up for yourself. Don't let him. Is he? Yeah. 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 Well, then, really, don't you love it? Don't you love it when? Uh, Boy, do I air this dirty laundry? I mean, none of this side of the family even knows about it, so who cares? But about this stuff, fuck it, who cares? So I don't have any siblings, but I do have two cousins, and I used to see them every Thanksgiving, and they're nice enough guys, but they've turned in kind of. I don't like their dad. Who no, I want an apology from him, but I won't like. I get. I'm not a huge like. No, like dislike is a strong word, but it's. You know what it is? I'm exhausted by their dad, aka my uncle. And I also don't really like one of my cousins. His wife is a crazy person, and I say this not as like a derogatory thing. I say this as like a definitive statement of fact. They are a loony bird. Who here's things they have told me they don't believe in. These are real things that my cousin's wife has said that they don't believe in. She does not believe in space. The fact that the Earth revolves around the sun, and she also doesn't believe that the Earth is hollow. She believes that the Earth is. She also is a big proponent of hollow Earth theory. So these are all strange. You can see why maybe like. Yeah, no. She is a hollow earther, not a flat earther. Which is that more reasonable than flat Earth? Like, I'm not totally sure, because hollow Earth is hollow Earth is pretty fucking crazy. Well, at least I guess at least that they acknowledge that. Yeah. Oh, you think? She has told me that monsters and dinosaurs live in the hollow Earth. I just sometimes think flat Earth is so insane because it's it just betrays your eyes, because it's if the Earth was flat, then how could things disappear over the horizon? But they're both pretty yeah. This is a person who told me that she legitimately believes that Barack Obama is the Antichrist. This is a person who legitimately said that to me, literally the first time I met her. She is not the most stable of people. So, I don't know. Beyond, yeah, exactly. And, not, yeah, exactly. Not to get into this whole thing in her head, she's also, to complicate factors a little bit more, she is, yeah, so this is a legit insane person. This is a person who has told me to my face that space isn't real. And that it is a conspiracy. Anyways. And after that, I was like, I'm good. They don't need to. I feel like I've learned all I need to learn about her. Like, she is very, no, I'm going to tell you, like, 100, like, she's the exact sort of ignorant that believes in these sort of things. She 100%, like, I do not doubt her sincerity at all. She is a person who believes in this 100%. And that's why it's so fucking wild talking to her, because it's just like, also, get this. She's a teacher. She teaches in schools. Fortunately, she's an art teacher, but still. Yeah. That's Texas. That's Tejas for you. Paying. That's the level our government teaches. What? No, there's... Exactly. Everything is bigger in Texas. Also, the earth is hollow and space is a lie. There we go. Yeah, it is, anyways, then my uncle is, always gets on me about. Well, writing prompts are good. You know what, Callie, you know what I would do if I were you? You know what I would do if I were you? I would, like, bank a few of these writing prompts. You know? Also, Callie, like, you're a poet. Read some of your poetry. You also play violin, Callie. That's a good thing. I would put some videos of you playing violin on your account. That'll probably get you some people in. Yeah. Well, that's really awesome, Finn. It's good that you're getting stuff done. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if somebody here focused on their writing? Or just theoretically what they want to do with their life. Hello? Vivian. Yeah. Oh, don't deny yourself that, Callie. Don't deny yourself that. Being able to play an instrument is such an enriching part of anybody's life. Please don't deny yourself that ability, that pleasure. That's stuff like that is like what is stuff that's worth working towards. Read. What am I supposed to read, Viv? Let's see. Who's on? Oh, that'll be fun. Guys, I'm about to pass out here. So I think we're gonna call it here. Okay. I'm very tired. But thank you all for stopping by. Oh, thank you for the follow, Finn. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.